Hi guys, iddqd here, and today we're doing a neat movement guide, and I kind of want to go straight to the point, but I think the key word for Apex speed is all about the momentum, right? One of the few things that a lot of people don't seem to know about is, regardless of you jumping mid-air or not, when going downhill or moving or speeding, the game will continuously have your momentum during the arc of that leap. What that means is, let's say we're sliding down a hill, right? I jump, you keep the speed as you normally would. The jump does not affect your actual speed going downhill. It doesn't. As long as you slide, you're good to go. And one of the few cool things that I'm not sure everyone knows about, but if you're running down a hill, you're straight down a hill, right? As long as you hold slide, you can turn around and do whatever you want. You can even hit a melee if you really want to. And you can jump too. It doesn't matter. It's just as fast as if you were going downhill normal way. Let's say you're being followed down this hill, right? You're sliding down. You see the guy, right? You're like, oh my shit, he's coming. He's very close, right? You can stop and do this. And then he continues to drone down. And it's one of the few tricks that I've done on stream multiple times, and people think that's pretty badass, but they don't seem to know how to do it. It's super simple, guys. You're being chased downhill, right? You know he's behind you. He's super close, right? Jump. You just hold S. You stop. No matter how fast, no matter how much momentum you have going down a slope or a hill, you can always pick up something on the side to start grabbing onto to stop your momentum instantly. It's a neat little feature that no one has really talked about, no one has really explained. I've done this multiple times on stream and people find it pretty cool, so I figured I'd share that little tip with you. And keep that in mind when you're going fast, downhill, whatever, and you need to find yourself in an instant stop. As long as you grab onto something, you stop your momentum, just like that. Another few things that I know, I want you guys to be able to move around the map as fast as possible, so we're going to do a little simple drill here. And we love this little dash thingy here. We used it in the bhop video. W sprint. We all know about that, right? Double, sprint, slide. Now we're going to add a jump to the slide. Walk forward, sprint, slide, jump. Hold slide. You get kind of far, don't you? I want you to practice that as much as you want, right? Because now I want you to integrate that into your game, right? I do this all the time. Now a lot of people have been asking me about my flick that I'm doing. And I'm pretty sure people mean this. This right here. Well, I don't have any research on whether this increases your movement or not. All I know is that it looks cool. If you guys want to know how to do it, I'll explain it to you. It's just a little bit more difficult than doing your traditional slide kind of jump, right? So I want you to do the same thing again. I want you to hold W for forward. I want you to sprint. I want you to crouch, right? But we're adding a different element to this. So if you want to flick to the right, like, let me show you. If you want to flick like this, I want you to start over here again. I want you to have your mouse set over here. And I want you to flick to this side of the screen. So it's like, bam, bam. So we're doing the same thing again. We are sprinting and running forward. Just before the gap, we're crouching again, or sorry, sliding, and then we're jumping. But in the jump, you will hold whatever key is necessary for you to go right, because we're flicking, right? So you want to hold right at the slide jump. There's something look like this. Boom, right? Or for left, you hold whatever key is left. And that's it. That's it. I know it sounds complicated, and it's supposed to be a little bit complicated, but after a little bit of learning, you will get used to it too. Just show some other cool, little neat things I know you guys don't know about. So you guys know about these ropes, right? You've probably seen them around. They're balloons, right? They're balloons in the real world. We already know where they are, right? If you're being chased by someone, you can do this. What did I used to do? Super simple stuff. You press E to ride, and then you press spacebar just as you're on it. And that gives you a boost. And if you hold your slide after you do it, you will go further. Now this by itself might not be the most impressive thing, but the cool thing about this is that it also allows you to change where you're going. See that? So let's say you're going this way, you're being chased, you can still... Does that make sense to you guys? So it doesn't have to be used in a way to just go further, right? But if you're being chased, I have many times on my stream used this as a tool to get around things or for whatever reason. So wherever there is a balloon in this game, with a rope looking like this, you can do this. Also, there is a trick to strafing in general, the movement in this game, that I feel like I've never seen anyone do. Alright, we're going to use this platform as an example, right? We're going to sprint and just jump off straight, right, with a slide. We're gonna land here. Now there's a little cool little thing here you can do with a strafe here. I'm gonna try and do it right now. We didn't get much further. I think we landed over there. But it definitely adds an extra momentum barrier to actually making longer jumps. You might be asking me, Andre, what did you do? And the way you want to do this, so when you're jumping off the cliff like this, right? What I want you to do is basically, I want you to move your mouse in kind of like a half moon like this, right? See this? It's like a kind of like a half moon. I want you to hold W and D while you are in the air. So basically your forward button and your button to go right, whatever they are bound to. So if you're going from this side to here in the air, right? I want you to slowly move your mouse. I want you to do this slower while you're in the air. And while you're doing this, I want you to hold your W and D button, or basically you're running forward and you're running right button, click or hold in at the same time while you're doing this arc in the air, right? Now, if you want to go from the rock to the banner, which is essentially, going from right to left, you still hold forward, but you also go left while in air. So you do it slower, but you go this way, right? Let me show you what I mean in action without talking. And while the change is, neglectable at best, it's not like it doesn't take you super far away from a normal slide jump. It does add a different element to it, and it does get you further. It just requires a lot more practice to get a hold of it. A cool little mechanic that you can do with the balloon ropes. I know a lot of people say, I feel like I never want to go over them because sometimes I get hit, sometimes it doesn't help me, sometimes I feel like I'm an easy target. But there is a way to get around this, and I will explain this a little bit to you right now. And you're going down a pet line, right? You're getting shot from here somewhere, right? You're going a straight line. It's 10 times easier to shoot someone who goes down a zip line without any form of movement. But if you jump and you press E very fast, all of a sudden you become pretty hard to hit because you're going up and down, and this little zip line is starting to move very fast. You can probably see how it's moving right now. It does take a little bit longer for you to get over where you're going, but it does make it much harder for the person who's aiming at you right now to get you. In regards to momentum, specifically on the balloon, there's a few things you guys don't know about. When you're scouting an area with the balloon like this, you just jump off real quick and then redeploy so you can check out the overview a little bit more before you make your jump. As soon as you jump on the balloon and you hit a little bit of a slope, you keep some of the balloon's momentum and the speed from it, and it becomes super fast. Sort of like this. Really neat. I figured it was useful to kind of let you guys know about that one. Now, what we know about crouch sliding, and we know how important it is, there's probably now a reason we can show you something about doors. This game has lots of doors in houses and whatnot, and it's quite important to know what you can do with these mechanics as well. This will show you what you can do when you know what to do with it in particular, right? So one of the few things that we talked about was the crouch sliding mechanic, right? And it goes pretty much something like this. Just before you make your crouch sliding jump, while in midair, you want to just press the door while you're outside, right? Or sorry, not inside. So you jump towards it, you jump it, you slide out, and then easy out, right? Instead of doing what other people tend to do, it's kind of like running out, closing the door, bye, right? This one is so good to keep in mind because it will start to become automatic eventually, right? You jump, you slide, and you crouch. And while you're doing this, you're doing the same crouch slide as you were to be opening the door this time. And then you can continue your momentum. Opening and closing the door does not do anything bad for you at all. It keeps the momentum like it normally would. Up and down, and you close. And then you can keep your momentum backwards or forward, depending on what you can. The cool thing about this, the very cool thing about this in particular is that when you're doing this, it also works for every single door in the game. That's the entire cool part about this whole feature. You can open, close, and then you can continue slide your way. And I meant every door, I meant every door. This one stretches the entire way, which is a cool little neat feature. And with the knowledge of momentum, you can And when you start to figure out how it works, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Let me show you right here. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah. If there's anything that you guys are wondering about, any questions at all about this type of movement stuff, anything that you feel like I should have added or not, let me know. I don't mind making a part 2 if there's anything interested that I missed. If you feel like I did a good job, please drop a nice comment though. I really appreciate that. And as always, if you have any feedback, you let me know about that as well. If you can't get enough of me, you can always hit me up on Twitter. I'm always streaming every day, anywhere from noon to sometimes up to even to midnight, depending on how much time I have in the day. But we're streaming almost every day. So if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter, the handle is /iddqd. So basically twitch.tv/iddqd. Thanks so much guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.